Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfic, and today we're going to be reading Glowsticks and Bullet Holes by Hyperius. This is Chapter 2. When the Red Hood showed up on the rooftops of Green Lantern City, Hal did not think it had turned so domestic so fast. Or at all. It was all a bit bewildering as Red Hood removed his mask and zipped up his leather jacket. Going from vigilante to biker teen, as simple as that. Plus, that's when Hal noticed he didn't have any guns strapped on. Or at least, he didn't have his guns strapped on any place visible. He ordered Hal to, quote, get rid of your glowstick uniform, because they're going shopping. Shopping, of all things. It was a whirlwind, and Hal didn't even realize they got to a grocery store until they were standing before it. His mouth clicked shut from where it was gaping as he tried to form words of protest. Why are we here? Jason gave him a look, one of those little knowing smiles, that all but said, oh, you're so stupid. I've seen what's in your fridge. You got shit. I'm a chef, not a miracle worker. I can't make something good out of nothing. Oh, that makes sense. Wait a damn second. How have you seen what's in my fridge? I broke in. The duh was left unsaid, but his tone revealed it all. This is why Hal hates all things bats. They're the fucking worst. Okay, well, no more breaking into my apartment. Obviously. Jason threw a wink over his shoulder as he headed into the store. I'm a guest now. I won't need to. And Hal hates that he can't argue with that. He let out a long, exasperated sigh and followed Jason in, walking with him straight to the fresh produce with a little frown. I can't afford all this stuff, being a, glow stick. He didn't want to say anything like space cop with all the people around. And though he despises the nickname, it worked to get his point across. Doesn't pay well. Jason shrugged. No problem. I'm using Bruce's money. He pulled out a small wad of cash, all big bills. Hal could almost feel himself drool just by looking it over. No card, 'cause that's traceable, but I went to an ATM and pulled out some money before getting here. So we're in the clear. He grinned brightly. And we can now afford all this wonderful fresh food. And not live off your shitty instant ramen. Hey, instant ramen isn't shitty. Correction, it doesn't need to be shitty, but you buy the shitty type. Really, there's bad instant ramen, and then there's the monstrosities that Hal called instant ramen. Jason wouldn't be having it. He may have eaten from garbage cans when he lived on the street, but even he wouldn't have touched that shit. Besides, Alfred taught him better. You're Jewish, right? Yeah? You kosher? What? You kosher. Food restrictions, anything like that. Hal couldn't hide the shocked look, because honestly, it did take him by surprise. He didn't think Jason would care enough to ask, to be thoughtful enough to remember, to care. He didn't think Jason would care. Nah, I'm not kosher. No food restrictions in general. I can't afford it. He didn't have the time, money, and he's traveling to too many planets where the food is a bit more bubbly and a bit impossible to truly distinguish. Any food restrictions would be too hard. Jason nodded. Then how would you like a cheeseburger? Oh, that sounds really fucking good. Curly fries? Obviously, I'm no heathen. Jason smiled at him, the smile sharp but sincere, one side of his mouth twitching just a little bit higher than the other. Good. Okay, so they still didn't end up grabbing the healthiest of things, but they did grab fresh produce, specifically food that can actually go bad. Hal hasn't bought anything like that for a long-ass time. Hal still tried to grab his instant monstrosities, but Jason remained resolute in his decision. No more of that trash. Come on, Jason, why not one packet? I need something instant for when I'm jumping between space and Earth. Nope, Jason huffed. I'm not letting any of that shit near me so long as I'm around. It's a disgrace to all things edible. Hal let a pout take over his lips, and he glared at Jason. His instincts were not that bad, and they did their job. They kept him not hungry when he didn't have time to cook. Though, then again, he's not going to be cooking. Jason is going to be cooking. So he could actually have good food now. Good food he doesn't have to pay for. Huh. Yeah, maybe he can go without his instincts for a while. Once they arrived back at Hal's apartment, Jason immediately got to putting groceries away. Hal only wondered for a second why Jason knew where all his groceries belonged, but then he remembered he didn't have groceries to start with, and Jason was deciding where all the food needs to go. Hal didn't really mind, so long as his snack cabinet remained untouched. Hal fell back onto his couch, kicking his feet up onto his coffee table with a little grin. Anyway, while you do that, you said you got some information on my case? With a devious little bat smirk, Jason turned to face Hal. I do. I did a little digging when I was not stalking you. He put the last of the cold food away, leaning his hip against the counter and looking over the other. It's bigger than you think, I think. Or smaller. Smaller? Jason nodded. It's not intergalactic. I was guessing it wasn't. Cool. Then it's bigger than you think. Jason rolled his shoulders. It's not intergalactic, but it's international. What's more, they're smuggling more than just weapons, and I think it's a big bad running the shots. Do you know which big bad? Jason scoffed. Do I know which big bad? Who the fuck do you think I am? He scowled. I know who, and I don't like the asshole very much. Hal was silent for a while, waiting for Jason to share his little secret, but alas, Jason was playing the silent game too, watching as Hal grew more and more irritated, watching as he squirmed, while being forced to wait. Okay, want to share with the class? Jason took a long drink of apple juice, making Hal wait even longer, before letting out a satisfied sound. That apple juice is good. Jason, answers. Okay, sheesh, no patience. I think it's Black Mask, maybe working with Lex. Why the hell is a Gotham baddie working here? That one actually stumped Jason too. I actually have no clue. Maybe Gotham got to be too much and Mask got upset he kept failing. Or maybe there was something specific he wants. Maybe him and Lex are working with another somebody Jason hasn't discovered yet. He's not very aware of all of Lantern's bad guys. Didn't know what to look for, but if Black Mask is expanding his empire outside of Gotham, it's going to be trouble for more than just Lantern, or Jason. It'll be trouble for everyone. Hal frowned. I thought you bats were supposed to know everything. We are mostly knowing, not all knowing. That's why we are considered detectives, not gods. Hal gave him a look. You have a huge ego, you know that? Sure thing, Mr. Green Lantern can do anything. Hal laughed, and Jason felt a warmth in his chest. Hal got his humor, didn't get offended with his snark or sarcasm. He felt, well, he doesn't know what words would work to describe it. He didn't feel like an outcast, like he did in the cave. It's nice, and weird. Because logically, Jason knows all that's happened is Hal not getting all defensive or calling him names. And fuck, Jason is really screwed up. If such a little, huge, important thing makes his chest feel like it has those little butterflies. He walked over and took a seat beside Hal. So tomorrow I want to go follow you around, formally on your little case. Also, I read about the art museum here, and you're taking me to it. Got it? Hal huffed, but his smile didn't leave his face. Bossy. But fine. Tomorrow. Tonight, food and movies, so get cooking. I'll pick out the movie. But I just sat down. No one asked you to sit down. Jason stuck out his tongue but stood once again. Fine, deal. It better be a good movie. I promise you, it won't be good. Alright guys, and that was the end of chapter 2 of Glowsticks and Bullet Holes by Hyperius. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next chapter.